We are like 80% right now. We didn't find a way to adapt KNG, but we can do some damage, but we are not like in our best form, in our best shape for sure. ESL Cologne is always one of the hardest tournaments. Our first game is going to be against Virtus.pro, one of the favorites. But it's Swiss format, so we have a chance. It's going to be best of ones, and I think we can do it. We can make it to the playoffs for sure. Because the qualifier was like 1 week ago, we are like ready for this tournament, but we still need to get better to get like first place on big tournaments like this one. I have played like ESL Cologne back in 2015, and it was the best tournament of my life for sure. The crowd is big, the stage is like awesome, so it's a different feeling to playing here. So this is like a motivation, not a pressure. So I think everyone would love to play here because I mean the Twins and like KNG haven't played like on a big tournament like this one, so it's gonna be new for them and they're gonna love it.
Couldn't ask for a better way to set the scene. Steel wants to return to that stage. He wants his brother, KNG, of course, to go ahead and experience it for the first time. This is a new addition to Immortals, and we're waiting to see what they can do versus, well, a domestic adversary. The Immortals have been hanging out in North America, now they stand versus Cloud9, and Cloud9 need a new task. We'll check out the odds, of course, joined by Sponge and Freiberg for this one. And immediately I'm intrigued to know just how divided these odds are, and the answer is not by a long shot. Slight edge towards Cloud9. What do you make of it, Adam?
Yeah, I think it's a good odds. Cloud9, they've been playing against tougher opponents, in my opinion, than what the Immortals have. Now Cloud9 only won against Tyloo, which is probably the hardest team here to beat, but this is kind of like Immortals. NACS, they've been playing against them a lot, practicing against them a lot, so it's going to be almost like the previous game, I think, where we saw Heroic and North going head-to-head, which is all 30 rounds, and I think might see one of those games here as well.
A full 30 rounds. I mean, does it make a huge difference? Is this the same kind of thing in your mind as the Danish derby, as in you play each other a lot in scrims, and even in officials, of course, because of the Pro League? Do you think that's going to really affect the way this game goes?
I don't think the rivalry is so high because they're not like both Brazilian or both US teams, right? But definitely they play each other all the time, and that affects the way that you address certain situations. But for me, this is a battle of the X factors, right? We've got the Skadoodles, Stewie, and Automatic going up against KNG, Henny, and I think the other player I'm going to put in that category is Bolts, right? I think that those head-to-head of who's going to come out on top in decision-making and finding space, which we keep talking about. But these two teams specifically thrive when they're able to get that extra inch.
And it's really interesting as well. Now, Adam, what do you make of this? I read a recent discussion surrounding Cloud9, and one of the observations made was that Cloud9 are one of the very best teams in North America or even internationally in the first 20 to 30 seconds of a round. They're very good at they will walk out to a bomb site and they will get the initial two. It's the decision-making after that where there is lackluster play. What do you make of that?
I mean, I think I'll give a lot of that to Stewie.
Right.
He's a nuisance to play against.
Yeah.
I mean, he always just gets the perfect timing, get the opening frags. I think that's from previous tournaments because I think that Skadoodle maybe haven't been completely on form, but at this tournament I think that Skadoodle has really stepped up. So I think that Skadoodle is gonna probably finishing off those rounds now that maybe they have had problems with before. So I think that Cloud9 is looking better and better, especially with Skadoodle having an opera like that in your team when he's on point. It's very hard to play against, and it's very nice to have in your team.
Yeah, and of course that was when they played 66 rounds of train. Whether they play any more, the vetoes will tell us. Chad, do chat to us as we do get to see where this best-of-1 elimination match does get played.
Surprised the Models threw the nuke ban in so early, right? They could have left it a bit further down the line. It's something which Cloud9, they've dabbled with in the past, but it's not something they're hugely successful on. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it go to I was going to say Cobble, but there it is. So probably the train, We'll get back on the choo-choo train and get back to town.
Okay, so I said it, 66 rounds already in one map versus Na'Vi. But this is where we can quickly ask the question, what did we learn from that? We were all watching it. We all kind of saw the meta develop into the overtime, but surely there's some positives from Cloud9's train. We must have learned something other than Skadoodle.
Yeah, I mean, they played against Train. Yeah. They played against Na'Vi on Train, and Na'Vi is probably one of the best teams on Train. It went to 66 rounds, so it kind of shows that Cloud9 are one of the best train teams as well. And I think that one thing that really makes them one of the best teams is Nothing. The way he's working on Ivy is probably a lot of players can probably learn by watching Jordan going Ivy and just going ham ST.
And Chad, what about you? I mean, if I ask for your expectations and in terms of who is going to edge this one out, is there anything that's leaning towards Cloud9?
When I've seen these teams go head-to-head on this map in the past, I think one of the things which was I noticed was how Cloud9 tried to play it very cookie-cutter at the start. They tried to have an opening move with 2 smokes and just try and play the T side by getting territory. But it's very easy to read if you're a team like Immortals who is happy to take those jewels and take that territory back very quickly. And then on the flip side of that, Cloud9 on their CT side need to be watching out for KNG making some very unorthodox decision-making. He's going out pop dog into connector and flanking inside if they're in like a 4-1-4, 3v4 situation. Happy to take those risks and find those holes.
Perfect. Well, talking about finding those holes, I can introduce your casting duo. It's the Bold Eagle and the Bold Beagle who'll be guiding you through this one. Train the map. We'll see if C9 or Immortals will continue here in Cologne.
That segue was real questionable, wasn't it, Alex? Once you said it, you just committed, didn't you?
Did he just call you a beagle?
I think so.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Did you just call me a dog? Jesus, Alex, come on, mate. Poor old makeup artist is trying her best, but you know, you can't polish everything.
That hurts.
The pain of it all. But speaking of pain, one of these two teams will be going home. Simple as that. Now,
yeah, it could be the team with Jordan.
Jordan and Skadoodle. I'm sorry, but I absolutely love the accent. It makes me so happy. It's like Jerry can or Yump. It's the best things in the world. I'm glad we get more Swedes on the desk.
Listen, here's the thing. I mentioned it in the the pre-show of the entirety of today when Alex was chatting with us a little bit. This is a team Cloud9 that has been so good at aggression, and they've been trying to add some slower pace stuff, and they've been trying to improve upon that. Over the past few tournaments and events they've been to.
Yep.
This event seems like they came in and they said, listen, the major's next up. Let's do everything slow. Let's do all of our slow tactics. Let's see what it works. Let's see why it doesn't work. Let's make sure that we can find a way to be successful in the slow tactics. And that's what I've seen out of them in a lot of the matches they've played so far in this event. I don't think you can do that in an elimination game. I think you do need to be a little bit more assertive. I think you do need to go to that style that's kind of gotten you this far, that has allowed you to qualify for the major, for instance.
We'll see if they can dig that deep. Already KNG, how did he take so much damage then? I'm not sure
he
what
got
connected.
He peeked over towards T-mid and just took a bullet in the face.
Well, that's a start and a half, isn't it, for Cloud9? You're happy with that? You don't know exactly what you've done, but not a bad feeling. Now, to start with, we've got Shroud and Nothing having to deal with Lucas here over by Ivy. Lucas just tendering early on towards this, putting a little bit of presence down, keeping eyes turned.
Yeah, he's done some damage onto Nothing. Kind of equalizing things just a little bit. You can see Automatic and Nothing on the minimap switching position so that he can manage that low HP. Shroud on the defense and Automatic. They're ready to double team Ivy if there's any kind of presence there, but it's not going to be coming that way. Smoked out, Automatic's going to get right behind it. Here comes the hit.
Yeah, it's a nice all-encompassing hit coming out from Immortals. Cloud9 looking to isolate anyone they can, but it's not going to be the case. Bolt's already going to find Nothing, who was very low, but Automatic steps into gear. That's what you need to see. He took his place. Also finds a way through the smoke, but he can't land the shot any little bit quicker on that one, and Shroud now pretty much all alone. Waits for the support to come in, and it's there. Stewie so quick to come around, and the bomb left in an awkward predicament. They can't get handled it yet, the T's.
Yeah, this hit has not felt very powerful, has it? Finally, Cloud9's rotated in, and they haven't even made progress onto the bomb site. Automatic did just enough. Steal in a 1-on-3 grabs Shroud, and I think he just spotted Skadoodle. Oh my god, this is sick. Can he do it with the Glock? No. Skadoodle recovers it. No armor as well. He did it with the kit. Yeah, but that was so very close for Steal.
Yeah, that started to look very possible. And I'm wondering to see if we're going to see the same Skadoodle that we've seen in the days, well, leading up to this, I guess, is the guy who can make such a big impact. We all want to see it. Everyone gets excited for it. I certainly do. So for me, that's a big factor.
That 2 versus 5 they did against Tyloo, that's currently been making the rounds. That's like classic Skadoodle, right? And if we're going to see that, it's going to be such an exciting game, because then you look at the other side and you still have 2 huge playmaking oppers in Henny and KNG. So that would just be an incredible battle between those 3 players. And then, obviously, if Cloud9 double ops, it's Stewie who picks it up, and we know he likes to be aggressive and make plays. So, I mean, this could be a very, very exciting battle between oppers in this game.
Yeah, I'm so ready for it as well. So, I want to see KNG go off. The guy wasn't as impactful as I kind of expected in the last games I got to witness. Yep. He hasn't quite been there to the same degree we've seen leading up to this. The guy is incredible. There's no taking away. But again, these are some of the first big events that he's been able to attend with this live. These are, the premium sort of events that kind of bring you back to your core almost. And we do see the slow B hit building. Automatic in the quick spot to make it up through pop if required. But the initial hit, I guess, would come towards Stewie and Skadoodle. So again, they're well versed in this. They should be prepared for what's coming their way.
And Stewie still has a Molotov, so as soon as he sees the smokes come out, those are on Steel. He's already towards inside as well. As soon as those ring out, he's going to drop the Molotov towards the lower ramp. That'll either slow him down, they'll have to commit through it as well. Could be a very deadly situation for the Immortal side, just praying for a plant at this point, essentially.
Yeah, just gonna see when Steel uses that flash. There it goes. Doesn't quite get all of them done. Skadoodle forced off the angle at least, but now Stewie's still waiting on the site. His molly did come through as well. T-side looking a little bit worse for wear now. Hey, did connect, but there's the cleanup. Stewie and automatic, quick on the flank there from himself. Good job. Not clean as you'd like. It looked a little bit scary at times, but they get the job done.
I think maybe Skadoodle wasn't aware exactly where that Molotov was going to be placed, because obviously he's thinking he's peeking out pretty wide from connector with that scout, thinking maybe it's going to be right on the ramp, and it's not. So he gets dropped, but Stewie's very, very smart. The positioning he has, he knows that they just can't really run through that Molotov, can they? So waits for them to push up sidewalk. It's pretty clean. 2-0 now. Immortals, this is looking like it's going to be a 4-1. Hope to fake towards an inner bomb site, or maybe down ladder, and then Henny over towards Ivy with the bomb. Just try and sneak a plant if he can. I don't think this is going to work, though. 2 players in ladder room ready to have a quick flank, ready to stop that. Shroud just have to sit around, and Henny's actually already been spotted as well. He's taken damage, so the ruse is up.
Yeah, and you can see Skadoodle starting to go aggressive towards the brown holes as well. Nade comes in. Cloud9 aren't sitting back on this. They want this one over with. They know this round's going to be pretty lackluster. You don't want to let yourself get caught out, though, obviously. You don't want to lose those guns and allow any opportunity to spiral. Then again, they are not exactly the most upgraded weapons either. They know it's not going to be there. Pushed up very close by. Good timing on the molly there. Could work, but no, he does get put down in the smoke and overwhelmed in the end is Stewie. Let's get found by Lucas. Awkward moment between Steel and Automatic, too. This is getting a little out of hand. Not the worst in the world just yet because Skadoodle is there. Nice shot with that P250. Falls back to another angle. Doesn't want to go down here. Run away. And the support arrives. Shroud's there in time. You just don't want to lose out on that armor more than anything.
Yeah, a little over-aggressive. Automatic trying to make a play. They lose 2, but not a huge deal. Still 2 SMGs. You imagine that AWP is going to get dropped over towards Skadoodle. Yes, it is. So he's going to take the FAMA, so nice buys from Cloud9. On the other side of things, it's a double AWP setup right off the bat on the T side.
Yeah, coming out swinging. They want to make that impact count once they get it into their hands, but yeah, a big investment.
We often talk about teams that rely far too much on double AWP setups. I'm getting to the point watching Immortals to put them in that category. Teams that just like seem to have the double AWP setup to feel comfortable with how they want to play, and especially on the T side, going to slow things down. It's not always the most wieldy weapon at certain points. If you can't find a pick, trying to enter bomb sites with 2 AWPs can be so difficult.
And I love the way that instantly Cloud9 are quite attentive, aggressive almost, you might say. They're not actually actively pushing anywhere, but look how far up Automatic is. Nothing is. They're both being very, very close by. Those UMPs at least get to play at range. That's very costly. Can't get the follow-up, but he gets the information to a degree, falls off it, spotting out enough to be able to kind of, I guess, filter it through. And Stewie's looking for the same somewhat.
Yeah, and Henny's out towards Ivy, hoping someone's going to peek. No one's obliging. KNG watching for a mid-push, so the 2 AWPs of Immortals not doing a whole lot at the moment. Only 2 AKs left on Steel and Lucas. They only have 1 smoke as well and a couple of flashbangs. So when it does come time to make a move, these AKs better be on point. Kind of doubled up. Lucas with Henny. Steel's going to be with KNG.
Yeah, Shroud's got a lot to handle here. 2 players down Ivy. He's the first port of call. If this goes wrong, this could be really, really quite problematic. And Stewie and Skadoodle aren't moving from their position. This could still be huge. It's Automatic and Shroud basically having it all to do. KNG's going to find Automatic as well. There's Shroud finally coming into the matter, but he's going to be overwhelmed soon. Steel's en route. Skadoodle's finally there, but you can see Henny starting to linger out, looking for the option, and he's going to get it. Good work from Henny. And now Skadoodle has to be careful of every single angle. Not much is safe here. That smoke will give him a small bit of room to play in, actually, but as soon as he scopes in, you know there's going to be an instant alarm bell ringing in the Immortals' heads, but falls back off it, looks towards the old bomb train, imagining someone maybe working through Ivy.
This is a very long flank, though. A long time for Skadoodle to have to stay alive. Yeah, what is happening here?
Steel?
He didn't see him whatsoever, but there it is. Scoped up, he can't see that far. Skadoodle. That's an awkward situation, but this round is essentially over. Stewie can't really do a whole lot. He would love thinking maybe that KNG with his AWP is going to fall back this direction, but it's just not going to happen.
No, and a very late support system coming over towards A as soon as they lost out on that first player from Cloud9.
Yeah, so, I mean, it is a little bit interesting they didn't get back there in time. I mean, that's just too long to leave Skadoodle on his own in that kind of a 2-on-3 if you're actually planning on going for it. But you could see it's a little bit unwieldy, like when Shroud gets that 1 kill over towards Ivy, Henny can't really do a whole lot. Like, you'd like to have that traded, but he's holding for a peek. He's got to wait for his teammates, and fortunately the Molotov forces Shroud to make a play, and that's when Henny peeks, but it does get a bit awkward at times. Still, an AWP is going to be in the hands of Skadoodle once again. This time the buy is a little bit stronger for Immortals. Those 2 AWPs, plenty of utility to last them to the end of this round.
The boost comes in, looking for this one above the smoke. Anyone going to oblige? No, not yet. Automatic though. Already going to get into gear. He saw nothing do pretty well before over here by Pop, and he's like, all right, I'll do a little bit better. I'll take that second kill too with the UMP.
Yeah, and that's so important as well. It's critical. I mean, there's just not a whole lot. Oh, God, Skadoodle, he can't be playing around like that. Gets picked off. Automatic's very, very low. Still an advantage for Cloud9, especially considering only one AK left on this T side to be aggressive. That's on Lucas. The kills aren't ringing out just yet, and there's even aggression towards the inner bomb site. Stewie's pushed all the way up towards box halls. There's nothing. He's changing weapons, but he still gets the kill. That's an awkward fight, but nothing thanking his lucky stars.
Yeah, I guess when it's going your way, it just goes your way, doesn't it? There's not much more to be said about that sort of thing. And now Henny and Lucas, you know, what more can you achieve here? Smokes are going in, the wall's going up. And Lucas maybe going to try and find a chance down towards Shroud, but he'll have to commit so far to even get an opportunity towards it. Stewie's going walkabouts. Look at this. So hard to deal with.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, great timing plays. He knows there's going to be a gap somewhere in where the terrorists are playing. And he's not going to see it coming whatsoever.
Nope, spots him out, calls May. Doesn't even rush it either. Oh, yes. Oh, there it is. Do it, Stewie.
Seen a lot of knives this event so far, I feel.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's all I got. I can't back that up by any facts.
Blue, get on the stats. Count the knives. Get it going.
But
you just want to put people to task, don't you, Jason?
Exactly.
Cruelty.
Get to work. Yeah, but either way, I mean, that's the thing. Especially if there's so much success, they talk about it on the desk perfectly. And usually this kind of is from the T side, right, where Cloud9 is one of the best teams, you know, 20, 30 seconds into the round. Well, that time it's automatic who gets 2 kills just immediately down ladder room. And then all you have left is 2 AWPs and an AK-47. It's like, all right, what do you do? If Cloud9 doesn't give us something, then we're just kind of screwed. We can't make our way out into any of the bomb sites.
Oh, Skadoodle. This could be a nice little stat padder if he gets a shot.
Confidence booster.
It really is, and I feel he's a guy that does respond to it so quick, isn't he? When he gets it going, this guy, he makes it look good, but still, this is against Eagles, against P250s. You're not... How is he allowed out here? How has Bolts got to this situation? How have they got 2 players to this point? Now, of course, Cloud9 do put their foot down eventually, but it's just like, guys, please don't let this happen. Skadoodle looking again for his moment to shine. Doesn't take the shot on the first. Might have spotted the second out, but Automatic's got it covered.
It is the absolute worst feeling as an opper if like you start to lose confidence in where your teammates can hold, especially on a map like Train, where you're just constantly exposed to 2 different angles, and if it's not smoked off and your teammates aren't watching and it's not communicated, that's when you start to get really stressed. Here's a cool switch up though. Oh, I thought it was, yeah, double up setup, but this time it's automatic instead of Stewie picking it up.
I guess maybe just keeping Skadoodle and Stewie towards B together if they fancy, but no, they're splitting up, so Automatic, what are you doing with this?
It might have been spawn.
Why is Skadoodle coming back towards B? I don't know what's going on here. Weird start here. Stewie could have been under pressure then all alone because Bolts and Steel were pretty close by. Did make a quick move off the back of it, but maybe expecting something different than what actually happened.
Yeah, this is alright though. Good setup towards the inner bomb site. That's just a little bit of respect, thinking maybe Immortals is going to try something different. That's a bummer for Stewie. Gets spammed down to 43 HP. Good opening damage in the round here. Stewie's got to be careful.
Bolts. So close to doing something disgusting with that, but nothing yet. And again, down to about a minute here. We haven't seen much of a foray into the round yet.
Shroud's down to 1 HP. I think he just got spammed to the smoke. That's really unfortunate. There's been a lot of damage coming out for the Immortal side, and I feel like they haven't even seen anyone. Good start to this round. But all the while, Cloud9 has dedicated 2 players towards this inner bomb site. They feel the switch up coming.
Steel's doing a good job to keep him dedicated towards this. KNG dropping out the nade, no one there to really receive it. They have been pretty close by though. Well worth of throwing it down. Bolts now takes the mantle as we do see the bomb edging its way over towards B. Now, we saw that early damage affecting Stewie. He's going to have to play this one out to a bit of a different stance than he'd maybe like. But Skadoodle can do a big bit of work here. And here we go. Stewie plays it well. The movement doesn't throw him off. And nothing as well coming up with the goods too. It's down to the 3 players from Immortals to make this count. And they're going to go right down Pop, try and switch it up on them. Skadoodle's en route, but there's nothing. There's Automatic and there's Shroud here. Automatic not known for that AWPing ability. And well, he doesn't really live up to what he was given. 3v2 starts to look a little bit dangerous, especially when they now find Shroud. He goes down. Skadoodle keeps it in check, though, and it's Bolts left in the 1v2. Stewie to the right, Skadoodle to the left. Pick which side you want.
Well, this is nice. The Train's got to help him get in some cover, so Skadoodle can't quite see him. Now he's going to get aggressive, and Stewie's waiting for it. But he's found a window of opportunity to fall all the way back. Timing is going to be so critical, and actually Skadoodle misses the shot. Stewie hasn't peeked yet. There it is, but Bolts wins both. Huge round for Bolts to take from Cloud9. Right out of their clutches.
exceptional play from him individually. You have that one opportunity, that one missed shot that comes in from Skadoodle, or just catch him off guard that second that he tries to make the play coming out from Ivy. That's brilliant. But then the follow-up as well, once your position's noted and you're already tagged up, very nicely done. 5-2 now. Immortals getting that little bit of a window of opportunity to build back into this, showing they're not done just yet.
This is a big round for both teams. Both teams on the verge of a reset here, losing all their money if this round doesn't go their way. That'd be so nice for Immortals to get this and be able to rack up some T rounds early on in the half.
But Stewie might find out some pretty big information soon if he actually played up further towards the box halls there. He doesn't go too far, he backs away from it, and now you're going to start seeing Bolts making his play and nothing getting swept aside. A brilliant early play coming out from the Immortals. They're getting these opportunities now.
Yeah, a gap in the smoke, and I think it's just the UMP ringing out, and Bolts is like, I'll gladly take that fight again. I have the advantage of that range, and he does. So Automatic gets more aggressive. Stewie's now brought out towards the A bomb site as well. Skadoodle has seen absolutely nothing towards the inner. He's just peering up that lower ramp, so the defense is staying strong. Still have that ADVP on him. And Immortals is being very patient in this. The main hit is going to be coming from Ivy, and it's just Shroud there, and he's blocked off, but that's brilliant from Automatic. Good kill.
Yeah, you shouldn't be playing chicken with a fox. Automatic isn't going to let that happen. And now 4 players against 4. They've evened the odds, and the slow play down Ivy's coming through. And is this a misread? I'm not too sure. Stewie's peeling back away from it. Shroud, though, seems aware this could be a chance, and now they're going to know. KNG finding an Automatic is going to ring all the alarm bells. Shroud around the corner, spots one. Does expect to play through Ivy, but he can't deal with it in the end. 4 players now standing for Immortals. The bomb can go down pretty cleanly at this point.
Yeah, I have no idea why there was just a mass exodus of the defense from that A bomb site. With that smoke down, Shroud certainly saying, I don't have any information whatsoever, so there's no reason that there should be a rotate. There was no pressure even on the B bomb site.
Yeah.
It was just a straight up guess. I'm assuming, because I didn't see anything on the map towards the B bomb site that would make them say, I need help.
I love your explanations when you just have no idea.
I got no answer.
What are you doing, Cloud9?
No, but it is like normally it's like you know the smoke's there, and so Shroud's like, listen, I'm smoked off. I have no information. That's the call that comes out. They could be out Ivy. They could be out Ivy, and the response is to rotate someone away, put someone up into Heaven, and then the Heaven player didn't even seem like he was aware that Ivy could be a possibility. He just gets taken out with no shots fired.
Well, this is certainly a good resurgence from Immortals, putting themselves very much back in this game, and as you said, quite an integral round as well, the money being slightly, well, I say slightly, rather ripped away from Cloud9. They did retain 2 guns here. Stewie keeps his, and Skadoodle still sat on his as well, but the rest suffering a little, as you can see, down to around 2k between all 3.
Now, this is going to sound a little crazy, but this is one of those rounds I'd like to see Skadoodle pass the op over to Stewie, and Stewie pass the M4 over to Skadoodle. Because Stewie, when he has the AWP, likes to be aggressive. He's a little bit more of the playmaking style, a lot more of the playmaking style. He likes to be aggressive, and when he knows that it's all on him with the AWP, he will actively hunt out kills. He will actively hunt out a fight with that op, and at least give a man advantage.
And they're going to need more than that going into this. 3 players working with a huge deficit. Automatic, nothing, and Shroud with very little to bring home. As Stewie prepares himself. If they go for this B hit, you know there could be trouble, and already Shroud going down. Not the end of the world, he was one of the players on the pistol. You get a bit of info, but still, Skadoodle being escorted back out by Automatic, merely the pistol to hand, though. Steel, Bolt, Start. Winding things up towards B, keeping players guessing. No ideas really as to where they're going just yet.
There's a pistol ringing out. KNG spotted that. Yeah, these are very measured, slow rounds from Immortals. They are being very cautious. Skadoodle still found nothing. Good win from Stewie, though. There's the M4. Still got some HP to play with as well.
And Steel is alone with the bomb. Lucas isn't far back, but still a little off from marker. There it is. Skadoodle strikes finally. KNG falls, but a good quick reply as well. That's the big hit, though. Steel feeling the timing well. The bomb's now in. The bomb will be planted, and the support was so quickly in place. Automatic. Might be time to just keep hold of that all.
Yeah, definitely save it. You could see a way in which Cloud9 turns that around, but it doesn't happen this time. Nice hit from Immortals. Stewie kind of going for a little bit more and getting caught in the open. Must say, if you go back towards the major qualifier as well, I mean, we talk so much about Henny and KNG for good reason, and Bolts even. Steel was perhaps one of the most impressive players they have. He was so impactful in that tournament. Whenever they needed a double kill, whenever they needed an entrance, it seemed Steel was the one providing it. Even at times allowing his teammates time to get into the game. Automatic, they're hunting him down here. But they're just going to stay in CT spawn, so Automatic's very pleased with this.
Yeah, Cloud9, I'm waiting for that timeout maybe to be called soon enough. Maybe just to deny Immortals, one, the momentum that's going to start building with them. They had a very tricky start, I feel. There wasn't much going for them. Cloud9 were just going through the motions and doing it well. But Cloud9 can scrape together a buy here, so they're going right back into it. There's no timeout called. They maybe still feel they're in a good spot here. They know what they need to do. Hopefully that's the case. Maybe a bit of a switch up from the Immortals as well. Let's see if Bolts goes for something a little bit quicker here. It looks like he is. Yeah, nice spawn for it. Why not? Molly goes in deep. Nothing's so pushed up, and he's actually looking towards main, where actually already Bolts is straight out of, completely shreds Shroud, and now Stewie has to come up with the goods himself, but he gets overwhelmed. Lucas is so quickly there, but Automatic in support finds one, and he brings it back, but the B site is all owned by the Immortals and Bolts on that late play through. But will they expect nothing so quickly here? Lucas, can you dare predict this? Oh my word, both players a little confused, a little dazed by that, but now, time to play back in.
Nothing confused about his teammate's location as well. He kept checking behind him when his teammate just came up ladder, so maybe some miscommunication, but Henny's got a big job to do. The big thing is that Bolts, his flank is not going to be expected because Cloud9's already cleared it. There's a good start. Now he's holding the perfect angle. The smoke covering him from behind as well, but the nade's going to be his undoing, but Bolts is in perfect position.
Show us what you're made of, Bolts. You've got a 1v2, the bomb's planted right for you, and he goes for it, he tries it, but Skadoodle doesn't allow another round to fall away from Cloud9. They retain their lead, they keep it building, and they don't drop the ball when it matters the most.
I think maybe if that flank from Bolts is just 2 seconds faster, he probably wins the game, maybe even just one. No reason for them to expect him to come down low ramp like that. Either way, 6-4 from Cloud9, and now we get the timeout. Tactical pause called by Stewie, knowing how important it is. You cannot get reset here if you're Cloud9. Finally win a round. We saw the dangers of the economic resets repeatedly in just that last game between North and Heroic. Double op setup again is going to be coming out for the Immortal side.
Yeah, nothing. Talking it through there with the coach. Maybe adjusting things.
He's saying something about going backside, like don't go backside. So I'm assuming that means towards the outer bomb site. Maybe they're talking over that round that Shroud got isolated and had no information, so don't play backside. That would be interesting.
Well, we can keep our eyes on nothing as well. It seems like he's.
I'm hoping the stream can hear them, or else I'm just like talking to myself.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, guys. If you can turn it up, let us know if you can hear it. Otherwise, we're just going mental and making this up in our own head. But yeah.
It's like a little bit of a listening. It's been a while.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see how nothing plays this as well. See if it's a little bit different, maybe. See if they're giving differences up here, changing things away. But he's going to go straight away down towards Pop and just get so punished. Steal, beheading nothing. That's going to hurt.
It's such an important round as well for Cloud9 that you don't want to start with a man disadvantage. And I think that's the third time I've seen nothing specifically get battered going into ladder room as CT. Automatic had that double kill. He had success there, but nothing cannot seem to find it at the moment. So perhaps time to stop trying to make that play if you're nothing. It is such a strong position to hold if you can make it as a defender. Regardless.
A little different, a different look here to a degree for Cloud9 as well, cutting a different figure in a way, playing far more passive back on this. You saw that Automatic was pushing up quite aggressively on a consistent basis. Maybe they're feeling they're giving away a little too much, a little too early, or just having to fall back to this because nothing fell early on. This could be again a response to this, but this slow, calculated, methodical play, play coming in from Immortals it's hard to handle for Cloud9. Limited information now to be able to be passed through. There come the smokes, there comes the molly in return, but Shroud knows very little as to what's happened here. He can't really spot down to the old bomb train, so instantly Automatic has to be careful of it. This is so terrible to deal with. They push and pull in the worst places. Cloud9 know nowhere to look. And now it's Stewie and Skadoodle trying to keep it together, but this is almost already over.
Too passive for Cloud9 this time. I mean, I think that's what they were talking about during that timeout was don't play backside. This time Shroud plays to the train side and they smoke him off. And that makes them nervous because, again, he doesn't have any information and Automatic just caught from ladder room, looking the wrong way. And if you're Cloud9, you're not used to seeing them just sit that far back, that passive, and maybe KNG getting a little bit crazy there. Just jumping around, Stewie with a chance, and he gets a second kill. It's a nice flick. I mean, yeah, you could see why that double up setup in Stewie's hands and in Skadoodle's hands is so powerful. A little confusing why Automatic had it before.
All the timing, Lucas.
He's going to find it. Here's the score as well. Oh, nope. That's quite nice. That's
baited by wanting the smoke. The price of a smoke just cost him his life and an orb. Ah, well. It was a nice shot, though.
It was a nice shot. I got very excited for that.
Yeah, I heard. You're a big fan of Skidaddy, aren't you?
I am.
I just wanted you to say the word Skadaddy, but you're not taking it, are you?
Skadaddy?
There it is. That's all I need to hear. But
Skadaddy's little princess.
Jesus Christ. 6-5 Immortals. Now have a little time of their own. Keep things having talked through.
This is there. I want Cloud9 to be more assertive in those kind of mid-round situations, right? Especially when you lose a player like nothing. Like even the positions that Automatic and Shroud were playing, even if they just weren't like wrapped upon and killed from behind, like those aren't that great of positions just because you can't really help each other, right? I mean, Automatic he's got too many different places he has to look, and he's got to be very, very careful knowing that it's a double op setup. And I think that's kind of the big thing hurting Cloud9 at the moment is because they know that there's so many ops on the field for the Immortal side in a lot of these rounds. They're feeling very pinned down, right? Especially in the mid-rounds when they're down a player. They've already used utility to block off the choke points to kind of shore up the defenses. They feel like there's nowhere they can really go because if they peek too much, they'll get picked off.
Well, we do have Stewie on the orb now, so hopefully this can maybe give them a little bit of alleviation from those issues they've been having. It has been very hard to handle, but maybe Immortals, again, switching things up, going to maybe go for that B hit here, keep them on their toes, keep them guessing. And it's Shroud this time over here.
Yeah, Stewie's going to hate this. They put him in Ivy so that they can have 3 players close up in the outer yard for a fast play, but it doesn't come. Now it's all about this inner hit, and it's going to be... I mean, this is a huge, overwhelming advantage for Immortals here.
Yeah, well, Shroud's only got a CZ. That's so tough to do anything with. Skadoodle's behind him, but he's only got a UMP and no utility, so this would have to be some sort of monstrous individual impact coming from one of these two, or a very quick flank in the right place. At the end of the day, the odds are stacked against Cloud9 in this sort of round. From the very word go. Now, KNG could be the first in here. Let's see how this one goes for them.
This counter smoke from Shroud is quite nice, but like you said, it has to be a huge play. It's possible, it's there, because they have to come through smokes, but Shroud can't find anything, and KNG's already pushed up so far. There's Stewie, and Skadoodle close up as well. He's going to get 2, and he shuts it down.
Yeah, Herculean effort coming in there from Skadoodle. Down very low, of course, 5 HP, but he's done very, very well for himself. A little bit of a play from the side from Bolt's giving it away. Henny trying to find room for himself, but smothering the side of Cloud9. They're not giving this one up at all. They're checking on this as well. Good play from Automatic right around the back. Just shoot me, why don't you? That's cool.
That's all made Stewie.
Yeah, Stewie getting a little trigger happy, of course, and Henny can't really make it out of this cleanly. There is already nothing around the back. He might check on it, might be able to make a peek on it, but still very hard with nothing holding this kind of deeper angle. And the pre-fire comes in, and an orb saved. Beautiful round from Cloud9. And Skadoodle, you know, worth his weight in gold there with that UMP.
Absolutely, but I mean, the big winner in that round is Shroud. I was watching him the whole time in that position behind Spindle. He's got a smoke and a flash, and you can't really use it in that position, can you, when you're kind of stuck in, because you just have to have your gun out for someone coming upper. But right when the nades start coming, he peeks out, he throws the smoke at lower ramp, so Immortals have to execute through it. They have to utilize their utility as well. That puts him in such an awkward fight. They have no information coming down. It's a huge, huge gamble. It pays off in the end. Great play from Shroud there to get that smoke out just at the perfect moment. And now it's Immortals. It's swung the other way. They have the low money. They've got the Tech 9, the UMP. Here comes just a smoke all outside. It's an execute.
Nothing again. He's getting nothing with this sort of play, is he? Anywhere near the smokes, and the dink towards Automatic puts him a little on notice, to say the least, and he gets overrun in the end. Now Skadoodle hates it because, well, you got Norb, you got Tech 9 swarming around the site. It's not nice to deal with, but Stewie's there. Gonna find the plant. No, and he actually gets taken down. This is huge, but thankfully for them in a way, they were dug out of it by Lucas, taking down his own teammate Henny. So there we go. Shroud and Skadoodle stay alive. Another one on the board for Cloud9.
It does feel a little dicey though, doesn't it? Nothing is having a very, very rough time playing aggressive. That's a good round though. If you're Immortals, you're pretty happy with that, I think. 3 kills, you don't get the bomb plant, but I mean, it is good to just kind of keep that economy a little bit low. It's pretty late in the half, so it turns out it might not end up matter. But you can see Immortals here. Right at the end, they're going for a bunch of force buys. This is just kind of like, I think maybe they're assuming the economy is a little bit lower than it actually is.
Well, Automatic could be having a bit of fun here. Skadoodle being teased with, toyed with, and Lucas strikes. Couldn't get the second shot though to make the count, and now Skadoodle swings out with the P250. That'll do the job just fine. And now the remainder, Henny. Praying for something to happen, and it won't be there. So Cloud9 again stretch their legs a little in the lead. They seem to have recovered from their little bit of a dip. Of course, enjoying the fact that Immortals just don't simply have that money there.
That had to have been a misread from the Immortal side. I can't see a world in which, you know, force buying the last 3 rounds of the first half is kind of your plan going into it. I think they just thought they would be a little bit light on maybe a weapon or some of the utility that would make that hit easier. Otherwise, I think they would have just saved that previous round and had a really, really strong buy to get their 6th. Either way, Scout and UMP, the Deagles, see what they can do. It is just a single op setup for the defensive side. And this time it's automatic, using the ladder room.
Last time he got 2. Nade comes through, doesn't actually find much of a connection towards him, so he's fine. Just gets away with it, doesn't he?
I hate grenades.
They're so consistent, Jason. What do you mean? Oh, here comes one. Let's see if that works. Didn't go deep enough, it's fine. And now we wait. KNG might be the one to take the task here down towards Ivy if he actually, excuse me, down towards Pop if he actually commits on it. Maybe not. No, it doesn't particularly need to. Goes with the flash. Gets ahead of it and does dominate down towards Pop. But now nothing's like, I've seen this before. It's happening again. Please, someone help me. No, no one is there to save you this time. KNG has absolutely run rampage through the Cloud9 side. They're down to 3 and they're in a real predicament here. Shroud's going to try and dig him out of it, kill by kill, but nice little response with the Scout, as it's Stewie and Skadoodle to hold it all together.
And actually, even they might just be done. They don't even know it yet. Steel's already gotten into the inner bomb site. Nice shot from Stewie. Skadoodle's got to win this battle, though he feels the pressure. He's falling away. He's tagged up just a little bit. Bomb still hasn't decided where to go, so there's a lot of time for Stewie and Skadoodle to make this play, but I think Steel's going to do it. Steel's going to be the one. No, Stewie saves his life. That is a huge kill from Stewie in the nick of time.
Bailing him out and then some. The 2v2 begins. KNG's finally got there, but it took so long. And you can see Stewie wondering, are they actually going B still? Is this still a plan? Skadoodle's getting up close with a CZ. Are you serious right now? They're down to 15 seconds. They have to commit on this, and Skadoodle's played it well. There's no one watching this angle. KNG can spot it just as the bomb comes out. And there it is. He takes the kill. He backs away, and he waits for the teammate to come back around. Stewie's not quite there yet, but it's bolts to try and piece it together.
Yeah, Skadoodle's going to play the bait, I think, in this one with the low HP, but what a bold play while Stewie's flanking to push up along sidewalk like that. That could have gone wrong so many different ways. He's coming from upper ramp. Bolts hears it. This is huge. Skadoodle's got to find him, and he does. Now Stewie can lock him in, and he's got it. Right through the corner. Bolts can't even peek. A little bit of a scare there for Cloud9, but they're going to get their 10th. Nicely done from them to recover. I mean, it looked a little bit dicey. Immortals had a good T-sided setup.
Yep.
The double ops rang true. The double ops were very effective for a time.
Yeah, to say the very least. We saw a very good, here and there rounds from Immortals, making it very tough for some very specific players on Cloud9. But they dig themselves out of it. They recover. They bring it back to a very good half. But the game's not over yet. We're merely edging towards that second half. But before we do get underway in that, we're going to go to a very short break. Have a little watch of this one back. See Automatic showing nothing how it's done. We'll be back in just a moment's time. One team can remain. Cloud9 up against Immortals. Tournament life, of course, on the line here, going down on Train itself. Currently at the half, Cloud9 put up a good performance, 10-5, but they need more here.
Yeah, it was a little bit dicey there in the middle. Immortals did a great job of stringing some of those rounds together, breaking the economy, but good stuff to recover and rattle off 4 straight at the end. Like I said, I mentioned it in the previous half, a little bit of, I think, a misread from the Immortal side of things with those 3 straight 4 spies to close out that half. I think they'd like to have that one back, perhaps. But still, 5 is a solid thing to come into the CT half with. And Immortals with that double op setup, you have to imagine on the CT side, it's going to be even stronger.
Yep, definitely viable. There's Cloud9 prepared.
Just having a chat.
Just chilling out.
Stop hesitating, let's fucking go. Let's go, it's all about us.
Let's bloody go.
That's quite nice.
Family show, how dare you.
I like
It's
how we
fun.
just like randomly got them mic'd up. Like,
Yeah, I
out
know.
of nowhere, just
good.
Good luck.
It's good. There
So
we
if
go.
you've ever wanted to know what teams talk about, it's usually not that complex, not that deep.
No. Shallow. Just like a nice little easy little puddle. Anyway, 10-5, and you saw the odds there, starting to sit very nicely with Cloud9 overall. Not too surprising, as they did have a very good first half, but there's a lot to be said and a lot to be seen with the Immortals. If they get going, if they start feeling out the game, they get that confidence, they get that fire building, someone has a really good match or a couple of good rounds, they can really spiral off the back. And Cloud9 know that. It's not like they're strangers to each other. They play each other on a relatively regular basis. You know, any league in North America basically has these two in it. So, again, they know each other's game plans.
Actually, I mean, the frightening thing if you're a Cloud9 fan is Immortals has usually had the advantage over Cloud9 in their LAN matchups. It's pretty dominant up until the North American minor when Cloud9 finally took a series away. Bolts far back, peering to the lower ramp. Henny behind Spindles. Smoke on nothing and Skadoodle. This is going to be an execute.
Bracing for impact. Henny, Bolts, wait. As soon as the flashes come in, you can see the response from the rest of the Immortals trying to get over there to support them. The flash is good, though. But Bolts still finding 2 kills. Great stuff. Henny, if he can join in, this is almost over and done with, but it's Lucas and Steel to do it. They're the ones to seal the deal here, and nothing is left with what his name says.
Well, what can you say about that one? It was so promising for a moment. It looked like it could happen, and then Bolts shuts him down. 2 headshots at range, even half blind on top of the train, just slowing everything down. Henny's still just waiting in the wings, but barely even needs to do anything. This is really, really nice from Bolts. I thought that flashbang was going to allow him to get in, but I mean, he recovered just in time, and obviously those shots are just hit so perfectly, aren't they?
Yeah. In response, Cloud9 going to come back in with Tech9, CZs, Deagle or 2 on the other side. SMGs galore, 1 M4 with KNG, and that's about your lot. Good utility, though, which is the main thing to keep these boys at bay, hinder that approach they might be wanting to go for, but nothing fast yet from Cloud9.
Have a chance here. Bolt's just holding the nade out. Doesn't throw it, though. Spots some. That at least forces him back. The question becomes, Cloud9, if they want to be able to do anything on this map in this round, I mean, they're very low on the arsenal, obviously, but they got to take out Lucas, and they do. That is huge, Stewie. You lose your focus for a second, you get a disadvantage for a second, and Stewie has pounced on it. That's a critical position to clear out as well. Central to the map, a lot of information can be gathered, flanking from 2 different directions, flanking to both bomb sites. Nicely done from Stewie. Jordan, or nothing, excuse me, still has the smoke to utilize. Jordan?
Done.
I saw Freiburg getting that salty licorice this morning. He was loving it.
That stuff is vile. I'm sorry, any Swedes out there watching this, but anyone in, like, you know, the Scandinavian area, they all love that.
It's a bit rough.
It's not great. It's just very abrasive in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not the morning I'd want.
Doesn't go well with coffee.
No, it doesn't. Nice croissant or pain au chocolat. All good. That's great. Bit of fruit, not salty licorice. Doesn't quite sit the same way, but see how this one sits with the Immortals. 6 rounds. Wanting more.
It's a fake. They've pulled Bolts over just a little bit, and actually they've pulled Steel's attention away from Ivy. They've got this would be a huge kill if they can get Steel without taking too much damage. He's not looking at them. He's got to turn around now. There it is. Stewie's going to turn the corner, but they haven't cleaned him out just yet. They know one is above, but it's KNG, and he's doing work. That M4 is ringing true. They're going to get a plant, it looks like, if they can cover him, but no. There was such a possibility there for Cloud9, but the kills just took a bit too long.
Yeah, KNG just raining in fire from above, pretty much. Good positioning from him.
Nothing to clear him out, right? He was loving it up there.
Yeah, it was like, this is fine.
This is my favorite part of the game.
coming back into this round. Sweet Soddle with Cloud9. It's a real eco. This actually gets me excited these days, you know that?
Does it?
It's an actual eco. Completely useless, nothing ever happens with it, but it
You
just
don't
makes
have
me
a lot
happy.
to look forward to in life, do you?
No, I have a very, very sad existence, Jason. Thank you for reiterating that. Always feels good. The beagle is sad. But for now, this should be swept out of the way. If they can get a plant, that'd be outstanding. But here it is. Le Bison, not a French gun by any margin. Pretty sure it's Russian, but it makes a great sound. It makes me happy. There it is. Why did you buy it? It worked.
I mean, he did use a lot of the bullets, so I mean, he just was like a presence, right? Close up on lower ramp, making sure they can't actually go down. But yeah, it seems a bit crazy for just one round. Either way, transitions over to the AWP. Built up some money. This is the true test. Skadoodle has an op of his own as well. A lot of utility on this T side for Cloud9. 4 AKs, got a couple Molotovs. All 5 have smokes. They can do whatever they want here. And this is the always dreaded bonus round for Immortals on the CT side. 3 UMPs.
And look at Henny as well already, dominating over by the brown halls. He's got so much information, he can hold this angle. It gets a little bit deadly, you got a pink and poison, right? Oh!
Holy.
Get absolutely battered, Stewie!
Christ. Yeah.
I wanted to swear really badly when he did that.
I did too.
There's not many shots that make you question your ability to, keep it a family show, but that's one of them that, ooh, leaves a mark, doesn't it? Skadoodle's like, I can't keep up. What am I meant to do when you just battered my teammate? Help me.
Yeah, and that is a big loss of map control now as well. No one wants to go mess with that. It seems like Shroud's there, but he's just looking for aggression. He doesn't actually want to peek into that. After what happened to him. Now, if they can get one, that would be huge, but KNG just gets under cover. The Molotov's going to force him forward, though, and it's burning him. Yeah, there's the peek from KNG. Oh, nothing does get it, but the fire, it spreads. Automatic has found himself in a curious position, and that could be an easy kill, but it's not. Lucas, he's next up to the task. Not going to happen. And Automatic still trying to push forward, but he's taking too much damage, and his teammates are falling. This just seems hopeless for Cloud9. There's one kill finally for Automatic. It's all down to timing in his position now, but Skadoodle's got to do all the heavy lifting.
Feels so individual here from Cloud9. They've been broken into pieces and they're trying to still operate as a collective, and it's not working. Henny's going to easily find Automatic, and Skadoodle's left with no option but to keep hold of this AWP as long as possible. If he can do that, he's just going to sit right back in.
He hasn't fired a bullet in this round.
Feels
so, I mean, when you say it feels individual, it was very individual. He had no impact whatsoever coming out of team mid. Great defense, though, from Immortals. Obviously, the first opening pick from Henny is a ridiculous shot. But from there, there's just nothing that can go on. Freiburg gave great praise to Nothing in the way that he takes IVs. Talked about it a couple times back in the green room, but that time the Molotov just kind of limits his mobility, limits what he can do. 10-9, Immortals inching closer to tying things up. And now we switch into the double op setup for the CT side. Immortals, they bring a second one out. Yeah, this is sick, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're always at that 50-50, aren't you? Do they come below? Do they come up top? And he just picks the middle ground. Instantly looking up. There it is. God almighty, that was fast.
Skadoodle blinded, eats a nade, eats Molotov. That's a great start. Good chip damage for Immortals, likely knowing that with the AWP it's the most dangerous weapon. It's probably going to go for a pick of some kind. And they just barrage that team mid with utility. He's basically neutralized at this point. 21 HP.
Yeah, a little neutered overall. Again, Immortals have barely seen them, and they've done so much work early on. They don't necessarily know that, but yeah, they're sitting pretty nice. And Skadoodle's going to have to land some absolute bangers to get them back in this, but not going to come through. Nothing's got the Galil, but again, you've only got one smoke to set something up with here.
I mean, the benefit, I guess, is that Skadoodle is one of the basically the strongest weapon they have on the side right now at the moment. He has to be aggressive. It's the only option. But again, good defense. Immortals, look how centralized they are. One player in heaven. Or underneath the ladder, one player in connector, one at bomb train, Steel now pushing up towards E-Box. It's just Bolts, who's just spotting inside. Any play towards outside for Cloud9 is just going to get demolished, isn't it?
Cloud9, where are your options? You're down to 35 seconds. You've got no ground gain, no information. You're just going to have to run it, aren't you? Straight at them, P250s, Tech 9s, maybe hope that nothing hits something, but Skadoodle as well. Don't necessarily always want to lose that AWP, but you're the one who has to kind of make the plays here. Automatic trying to set him up off the back of this. Taking the peaks for him, allowing him to play the angles in. Here we go, creeping towards the site, but already Henny going to find nothing. And there they go. Shroud the only one to really make impact thus far. It's down to Skadoodle. Automatic, and you're not going to get a step towards the side. Skadoodle can't even make it away. Catching him in the heels, and we are tied up again. 10-10, Cloud9 having a rough start here, but the Immortals showing they want to carry on this tournament. They want to make it out to that stage.
Yeah, it's been 5 straight for Immortals, and this is exactly what you don't want to happen. You don't want them to catch the momentum in the fire. And actually, it's going to be a buy-up now for Cloud9. AK is coming out. Galil once again onto nothing. Skadoodle, because he saved that op, didn't get bonus money one round. He's stuck on a Tech 9, which is a little unfortunate. This utility usage has to be perfect. These double ops are going to start picking people up, and it's a fast-paced round.
Oh, God. This could be a disaster if it all goes wrong. It can unravel so quickly, but they're still alive. They're still holding on until then. It's a trade-out, though. Shroud and KNG both finding kills, but who comes out the victor now? It's Shroud again coming in with all the work, but there's Bolt coming back in finally through Connector. He's waiting for his moment to strike. Still confused, dazed, doesn't know where the opponent's going to be, but they strike eventually, and it was absolute madness, absolute mayhem. But Cloud9 just about make it out.
That is just so hectic, and I'm pretty sure Automatic spent the majority of that round blind. It was great usage of utility from Immortals. They did so much damage. Again, though, the impact has to come, or the impact did come from Shroud. The 2 opening kills for Cloud9, really kind of allowing his teammates to move forward, taking the attention away from the rotation as well. Stewie's at 20 kills, Automatic at 17. Eventually finds his way to the bomb site to get some nice frags at the end. They've got to string it together, and what a poor time for Immortals to switch into the double op setup. Expensive in that loss, and just couldn't stop it with 2 sniper rifles.
Yeah. Cloud9 now. Hit the brakes a little bit. Shroud's showing presence, at least not giving up the map control on the other side. They still have the double ops to play with. Immortals, KNG there, and Henny. No early picks being gifted over to them this time, though. Cloud9 finally have the utilities to kind of fight this back, give a little bit back to them, not allow that early game to go all their way. Stewie, though, flashed up, tries to find some sort of respite, but falls away from Ivy himself.
It's pretty nice, though. I mean, you're applying pressure over towards Ivy. You're making your presence known at like a minute and 15, a minute and 20, really early on, so you're forcing a little bit more utility to be used. And they obviously have no idea that you've fallen all the way back now. So KNG, with his AWPs in the back halls behind all the trains, he's just watching Ivy. I mean, that's all the opposite focus on right now, so you've kind of neutralized one, especially since you're not going that route.
You still have to get past Henny and Bolts, though, and these guys, they're actually kind of on here, but Shroud just outdoes him. That's exceptional from Shroud. That's exactly the sort of impact you need, because that's just one man, and he showed presence earlier on. They don't know if this is the full hit or not, but they still have to be careful of it. You can see them backing away from it too. One smoke goes up and they slow down. Yeah, they had a really big lean for some time. So Steal, important position actually, and he's just going to get dropped. Cloud9, I don't think they've faked this out as much as they think they are. Lucas is still here, so is the AWP. They're going to have to fight their way, but luckily they've won that first one. KNG is the next guy up with the op, and he's going to go for a play, but he's completely flashed out. And they've crossed to the bomb site. They'll get it planted, and he's going to continue forward. There's one. Automatic next up, but no, he's too quick. Bolts is outnumbered, outgunned, and now starts to burn. Not the ideal conditions to try and pull up a retake, but he's going to give it a good crack anyway. 12 bullets left in that clip. Trying to find those last 2 players who split themselves up, make it very tricky to isolate without the trade-out coming in, and there it is. Cloud9 recover. After what could have been very deadly, actually. There. You saw them kind of looking towards B. There was no one really pulled off of A there. Yeah, no, Immortals didn't bite that fake whatsoever. That was pretty nice composure by them to stick outside. Yeah, great opening kill from Shroud. They did a vertical peek, right? One coming from lower, one coming from above. I don't know which one Shroud was, but we saw Henny kind of aiming in the middle previously when he picked off Stewie. This time he can't make it work. Tough shot to happen, but either way, Automatic with the 3 kill in the round really seals the deal. On to a save late in the game. 23rd round, and it's just pistols. Scout is on KNG. But without some spectacular shots, it's not going to do a whole lot. Nothing as well. Long-time veteran. There's no way he doesn't clear that angle if he pushes forward, but he's just going to give it up. Maybe feels pressure that he doesn't like. And he's got a great feeling about it. Sixth sense, intuition, who knows what it is, but there's 3 players there, so good work. We're not even running out of there, just slow walking out of it, no information from them passed on, and they're backing away. Immortals working with limited vision across the board. Only Bolts on B as well.
There's a kill from nothing. Sees the peak out towards long. Just one player. Hasn't given up how much of a stack it is, so Cloud9 still doesn't realize how clear this inner bomb site is. It's just one person. They're trying to rotate back, but Cloud9's going to hit it just before they get there, so good timing from them. Shroud to open things up. And Skadoodle to follow up with the AWP. That's going to be an easy round. Cloud9's going to get to 13.
Yeah, it's more when we get back on the bye for the Immortals. There might be a pause coming in soon, maybe a timeout for them to discuss what's going on. Because,
Absolutely.
again, Cloud9, if they regain control here, you're pushing the marker of being out of this whole tournament. So why not call the timeout once you get that bye coming in?
This next gun round for Immortals is critical. I mean, the entire match might hang on it. So, I mean, definitely if you're Immortals, and in my opinion, you take a pause, you take a timeout, and you make sure you discuss exactly how this round is going to play out, where the attack is coming from, what's confusing people, what's getting them out of position. Because at the moment, Cloud9 is actually doing a great job tactically of kind of making Immortals guess where it's going to come from. Now, the previous round, we said Immortals didn't buy the fake towards the inner bomb, so they still had 2 outside, but who they did pull out of position was Steel at the bottom of the ladder. He tried to come up, and that's what actually allowed them to go between the 2 bomb sites so quickly. So maybe discuss and have a little bit more fortitude to hold your positions just for that extra couple seconds if you're the Immortals players.
No timeout called. They're going for this.
No double op, very little utility, no kits. Dire situation.
Yeah, not an easy one. KNG's the one who's going to be running it over Henny this time as well. So hoping for something to happen from this. No early B aggression unless Bolt solo does it. But you know the Shroud's been playing this quite consistently. So again, have to keep him, keep aware of these sort of factors. Whether it be him alone or if there's a team behind him, you never really know. But Stewie's already out? Stewie, what are you up to? Is he trying to sell? This is going to be that kind of hectic A. It looks like it, and now they're working their way towards B. Still flashes coming through. Lucas is still blind. Smoke's still up. Now the game is noted, but it's Shroud entering in. Brilliant work with him and nothing there to get this bomb site pretty much under wraps. They've got it all to themselves. Automatic can push up as well. This is looking very good. A tough retake now for the Immortals.
Dicey for Automatic, though, and he's going to look the wrong way at the wrong time. He didn't need to look left necessarily. Either way, he used the cover of Skadoodle's op to push all the way up, and it just fails at the last moment. The retake is definitely on, but Skadoodle on the low ramp, he's a menace with this AWP, and he might get out that position, and yeah, just for too long. Nothing's got to be careful. He's wiped out. This retake is looking perfect.
Shroud, blinded, shows presence. Oh my word, that's... Oh, Shroud, that could have been brilliant! And they don't have a kit, but the time is so close. I think Henny's got this, though.
Yeah, certainly. But Shroud,
you've got that internal clock, don't you? So you can let me know.
What's that? Yeah, I do. I just, I was letting it register. Yeah, no, Shroud, you could see that pinpoint precision. If he's able to get away after that kill, likely he wins the round, especially without a kit. But, I mean, either way, Cloud9's going to be so happy with that. They get 4 kills, and even though there's an AWP still, I mean, you look, there's going to be a little bit more utility, but UMPs. So, I mean, once again, Immortals on the verge of a reset, and if Cloud9 get to 14, I mean, then it's just 4 spies from here on out for Immortals once again. So, very, very dangerous round. Cloud9, they can win this. Likely they can take the whole match.
Oh, a different stack as well, or a different look for the Immortals in this round. 3 players kind of posted up in the same sort of spot, and then 1 aggressive KNG, 1 aggressive Bolt, and already Stewie succeeds. That's an open that could really grant them some good security here, but the smokes go up. Cloud9 build a wall, and the Immortals can't break in.
Nice job by Automatic watching the flank, not getting lost in the action. These are great positions for Cloud9 as well. This is going to be tough. No utility left for the Immortal side for this retake.
Ooh, but Henny's still finding Skadoodle there. That's nice. That's going to bring it back to a 3v3. Still a molly on Automatic, though. That can buy time. That can really retain control as there's no smokes left up on the Immortals. Time now starts to dwindle away. It starts to pour between their fingers, and they know they're running out of opportunities. They're going to try and make something happen. Lucas praying someone will play into it, but there's the flash, and there's Shroud. The backbone thus far of this round, at least keeping it together for now. And there, Henny knows his options are limited. It's time to move away.
Yeah, what a big win. And you mentioned Automatic had a Molotov still in that ladder room. So hard to use it at times, but a pop flash from the teammate blinds up everyone. They take the fight right at the correct moment. Great job from Cloud9 in the post plant. 14-11, and they've crippled Immortals. It's just this AWP they have to rely on. It's going to be armor and pistols on the rest of them. And really, you have to say, in that retake scenario, that's why it's so important they win kill 4 players in the previous round. No nades left whatsoever, even just a smoke, even a Molotov to force him out of position. You can see Henny's hoping that nothing is going to peek from behind the train, but they just have nothing to force him into the open. Such a difficult scenario to retake into. And it's going to be like this the rest of the half.
Backs to the wall gaming for Immortals, as this is their chance to survive. These rounds mean everything to them. Otherwise, that stage moves further and further away and then just becomes impossible to reach. For Cloud9, it's a step back to recovery. They've had a good couple of tough opponents up to this point. There's no disputing that. But still, they need this one underbelt. This is the one opponent that matters for now. No more, no less. It all just exists within this one bit of time.
No one showing themselves from Cloud9. Henny's close up with the AWP. He's trying to make something happen. He's got an angle towards T-Con. That'll be dangerous if Cloud9 would have set up some kind of play towards the outer bomb site. But still, I mean, it's tough for Immortals. They've used all their nades, all the very few that they brought into this round. Henny's got the only smoke left. 35 seconds left. Cloud9 still to make their move, and it is going to be towards outside. This is a chance for Henny. What a flick. There's the speed.
Henny needs to give them hell. This is his moment to shine. Lucas is there. He's doing what he can to dig Immortals out of this situation. Oh, a connection, but not a kill. Only a tag on towards nothing. That's 15 HP remaining. And Skadoodle picks up the reins. The smokes come in. The vision gets blurred and hindered as nothing down with their bomb plan. And there it is. He gets it in, but he does die in the meantime. Down to Shroud and Skadoodle to keep it together.
They should be able to do this. They have the rifles as well. AK has been salvaged. They've got to get aggressive as well. There's no kits on any of these players. Nice shot from Skadoodle. Coming up clutch. Shroud hasn't had to peek just yet. Skadoodle sees the shadow. It fools him, and there's Shroud for the cover. Great teamwork, and KNG's got nothing left. Shroud does peek, though. He gives him a chance. But Skadoodle cleans it up. 2-on-3 win for that duo. They won a 2-on-5 yesterday against Tyloo. Looking good.
Now this is a timeout from Cloud9.
I see them like laughing over some like miscommunication, and like everything goes well when you miscommunicate and you still win the round. That's when it's funny. It's not so funny other times. Whoa, was that like a Twitter sound?
I got so confused.
So obviously Cloud9 saying we're up 15-11. Let's make sure we're not slipping in focus. We're not forgetting anything. Let's maintain this kind of a pressure. And this is going to be a very similar round for Immortals as we just saw. There's just one big caveat, and that's that Henny only has a scout, doesn't have the AWP.
(15-11). It's do or die time for the Immortals. They need to make this count somehow, or it's Cloud9 going forward for a shot to make it through to that stage, to really bring it home for the North American teams. But not going to be easy. Immortals still have a lot beside them. They can still make something stick here. But hard to work with this. Oh, that flash just was a little short on the angle, but the pre-fire from Stewie, hyper aware that could be a probability.
Especially in a scenario where you know they have to do something sneaky, something a little bit tricky to make up for it. Even the Molotov to flush out Steel. This has got to be crushing. He's pushed forward. They're not ready for it, actually. He had a chance there. But a 5-on-3 for Cloud9. What's next? With 1 minute and 10 seconds left, they know they've applied so much pressure across the map on Immortals. Look at how patiently they're playing. Look how far back. They're watching every choke point as well. Don't see a whole lot of avenues back into this round for the Immortal side.
No, with KNG, Bolts, and Henny looking to try and recover something here. KNG's pushed up, hoping that there's maybe an opportunity to be found in this moment. Maybe read ahead of where the play is, but still tricky. If he can time it right, maybe there's a window of opportunity, but it's so slender, it's so slim, so fine. But he is reading it well. This can maybe allow Henny to move, but then there's still that question of, come on, what about Pop? Are they going to start playing through that? Henny, again, instantly considers it, but it's that slow build towards B. Here we go. The hit's about to come in. Cloud9. They might be in the business of misery here just to take this chance away from the Immortals. Shroud straight in. No prisoners kept as the bomb goes in. KNG and Henny know this one could be all but over.
It's certainly looking that way. There's one more opportunity, but that's just gone. So it's just Henny with the scout, 5 opponents, and there it is. Cloud9 eliminates Immortals. It seems like that minor victory has actually gotten this curse off their back. They've struggled so long with Immortals on LAN in big tournaments, but here they knock them out.
That must be huge for their confidence as a team. They really did need that, to say the very least, but they make it through. They stay alive, and that's the integral factor here. They have a chance to continue forward.
Yeah.
And show us what they've got. They've had tough opponents till now, but they look strong there. A good performance all around. We saw I guess the heavy hitters doing what they needed to. And that's exactly what we're going to see for these North American boys.
The Pay Safeguard post-match breakdown.
North prevail in the Battle of the Americas. And we do see Cloud9 join the group of survivors. Fnatic and none other than North have managed to secure it so far, and we're going to be seeing who can be added to the pile a little later on. Joining me now, myself, Machine, I do have, of course, Sponge and Freiberg. It's my great pleasure to be able to pick their brains, albeit briefly for this one. Immortals, at one point, Chad, you were talking to me saying you think the Brazilians have this one in the bag. Where was that mindset initially during that train game?
No, that was Hank.
Was it Henry?
I was saying that Cloud9 have got it, and Henry was like, nah, 5's enough. I thought they needed more than that, and especially them going into the last 3 rounds of the first half with 4 spies is not a way to, buffer up your T side. I think what they thought is they could get on top of Cloud9's economy and then, string together those last few rounds of that half, but it wasn't to be. I think they really went for that double AWP setup early, and they weren't really having a lot of luck with it, and that's what playing close pop will do. It means you can't get your AWPer in there, and the other one was normally around T mid or Ivy. So the way Cloud9 were playing that wasn't really giving away too many picks. It was well done.
I mean, of all the maps, surely double AWP on Train is more justified than others, Adam.
Yeah, for sure. Train is an AWP heavy map. You can play AWP both on Yard and inside B, and as terrorist, there's a lot of places where you can get picks as well with the AWP. So yeah, Train is one of those those maps that really benefits AWP heavy team.
So here's a question. Immortals again, not after what was a very turbulent qualifier, come here and it does look like they are going to be added to the eliminated pile. Does having 2 players who are more comfortable and reliant on that AWP hinder them? You've got, of course, KNG and Henny.
I mean, not really. I think Immortals is a lot hit and miss at this point, because either Immortals, they can upset any team, even in a best of 3, right? Or they can kind of be a bit lackluster, in my opinion. So I'm waiting to see Immortals grow a bit more, get some more experience. I mean, they've been established as a top team for a while now, right? But I would like to see some more stability in their results, because I think they can be a bit up and down.
Absolutely. I mean, when you can consider Cloud9 as well, despite picking up the victory, there was some things that I know you, Chad, were talking about, how they can be relatively predictable. There is sometimes tendencies available that can be identified.
Yeah, we talk about tendencies, and then we even had the caveat of a domestic matchup. And in this one, you can see a mid-round call that comes in from the guys from Immortals, and they know where the players are going to be. They know how to isolate them. And the key one in this is Shroud. When he plays Ivy, he tends not to play the backtracks. He likes to play towards Cutout and the 6 train. And I've got a little clip here to demonstrate just from the mini-map of what exactly went down. So they know when they put this smoke down that it forces Shroud to play on, or he tends to play on this side right here. And with him over there, they know that they can create doubt and make the CTs think that they can go around back and split towards the inner bomb site. So you can see what happens when we play this clip out is that Automatic over here, he has to put his focus back towards the back alley and old bomb train. Skadoodle has to move around as well, and they have to make up for that gap. And what happens in this clip is when they come down Pop Dog, Automatic is going to find himself in the open and getting caught out from these pop players. So playing it out here, you can see that the rotation is going to come in, the doubt is in the mind, and is it playing? I can't tell.
Thinking about it. Maybe they're just really slow.
There we go. That's probably my fault. But Bolt is going to step up Pop Dog. He's going to go Automatic with his pants down, facing the wrong way. They know where Shroud normally plays. He gets isolated. And now Stewie and Skadoodle, it's very difficult to retake in that situation.
Right. So that's just simply because Cloud9 had a predictable element to their play.
Yeah, you basically know where Shroud's going to be every time, and you can take advantage of that and put the I guess, Shroud of Doubt.
Ooh, and we did see a little bit from Shroud. That nearly was a very sexy 1v3, Adam. Did you catch that?
Yeah, the one where he went down lower and just popped 2 heads. I mean, Shroud is playing better and better, I think. Both at the major qualifier and even here, I think he's been performing well. Seeing him and Skadoodle is probably 2 players that they need to be a top-tier team. I mean, Stewie is always performing, kind of feels like. Automatic, always going to be a star in that team. But it's nice seeing Shroud hitting his shots, Skadoodle as well.
And as kind of fluffy as the analysis may sound when I say it, but it does look like they're having fun as well. I know we said the same thing, Carrigan said the same thing about Optic, like they're all giggles, and turns out there can be a correlation between having fun in a video game and succeeding in a video game sometimes. And we'll have a little look at how those successes will shape up for our futures. As we can bring up that schedule, you'll see what's coming up in our next couple of matchups. These are what we've seen already. You've already got to see Fnatic, very swift dispatch of Turkish sides. Space Soldiers, we got to see a very close affair. Once again, Heroic on Inferno unable to close that out, and they have been added to the list of eliminated teams. Immortals join them now after that game on Train. And up next, we have Mouse Sports versus Na'Vi. Some people would say this would be the matchup to really look forward to today. You guys have definitely set your clocks. The next 2, in fact, are going to be very, very very spicy G2SK to be going down alongside none other than FaZe and Optic. That's what's coming up, but right now we're going to take a break. When we do return, we'll be jumping into another exciting CS extravaganza.